It's important to note that most pesticide or chemical exposures in our country are actually involving cleansers and disinfectants used in homes and in public places. The staff and teachers who work hard to keep a safe and clean school environment are also possibly exposed to these types of chemicals accidentally. With that in mind, here are a few reminders when working with sanitizers and disinfectants. First of all, know and follow the law. Here in Louisiana, it is required that any pesticide or antimicrobial be applied at least 8 hours or more before the students re-enter the building. So, if you're planning to use any of these types of products, make sure to remember to observe any re-entry period required. Always wear your personal protective equipment, or PPE. 99% of all chemical exposure to the skin can be avoided by properly wearing gloves and long sleeves. If you work with antimicrobial disinfectants for long periods of time, you have a greater risk of being exposed, so protect yourself. Some products do require respirators. Be sure to read the product label for the appropriate information. If you do wear a mask, make sure you wear it correctly and that it's the correct one for the job. If the disinfectant you are using produces excessive fumes, make sure you have the ventilation on or are in a well-ventilated area. If fumes become too strong, move to an area with fresh air. Be sure that the disinfectant solution is rated for the type of surface that you wish to disinfect. The surface type should be listed on the label, such as non-porous, semi-porous, or porous. Read the label to determine whether the disinfectant will work on the surface type you wish to disinfect. If you are disinfecting a room, focus on public contact surfaces such as desks, chairs, doors and door handles, computer keyboards, computer mice and touchpads. Refer to your best practices guide for tips and suggestions as to how to best clean and sanitize any difficult surfaces or objects, and know the capabilities of your disinfectant. Know if your product is able to be applied to a particular surface type. And if there are any objects or furniture that will prove difficult to keep disinfected, you may consider putting these items into temporary or permanent storage until COVID-19 especially is less of a health hazard. Here are some important reminders regarding the antimicrobial sanitizers and disinfectants that you might use. Always follow the label. Please take the few moments needed to thoroughly read the directions. Remember, the label is the law, and it was developed to keep you and others safe. It also tells you how not only to dilute any concentrates properly, but also how to properly apply the disinfectants so that it works effectively. Using disinfectant solutions on all surfaces is usually unnecessary. Perhaps surprisingly, one of the best things that you can do in a school or public place is just simple cleaning with soap and water. This is called sanitizing and simply removes dirt which naturally contains bacteria, fungi, and viruses, only some of which might be harmful. So understand what can merely be cleaned or sanitized and what needs to be disinfected. Your school should have a policy on this, and if you have questions about these issues, let us know. When you are using a disinfectant solution to disinfect any surface, observe carefully the dwell time listed on the label. This is the amount of time that the disinfectant must remain on the surface in order for it to do its work of disinfecting. Do not wipe off immediately, unless the directions tell you that you can do so. Never mix different disinfectant products together, because doing so could be quite dangerous. For example, mixing bleach with acids such as vinegar or bases like ammonia release toxic fumes. Also, mixing different chemicals, unless the directions for use say to explicitly do so, will most likely result in chemical reactions that change the chemical nature of the disinfectants. This would most likely lessen the chemical's abilities to disinfect a surface. Simply put, only mix chemicals when the instructions tell you to do so. Also, be careful to never use disinfectants or disinfectant wipes on your skin. The chemicals that they are made of are much too harsh. Hand sanitizers and/or hand soaps that are made for human skin use are certainly sufficient for washing hands and contaminated skin. Please pass this information on to school staff and even to students especially who might not know about these matters. We appreciate all of the work that you do to keep us and our students healthy and safe. We wish you a safe and successful return to school, whenever that might be for your school. For more information, contact the Office of Pesticide Safety Education at the LSU AgCenter.